Welcome back, everybody. We are very happy to have Miss Jec Ballou with us today. Jec believes that fitness is the focus, and no matter the discipline, your horse is an athlete first. She was raised in a dressage farm and family in Vermont and further studied and still continues to study throughout Europe. She realized in her career about 15 years ago that most of the struggles really stem from horses not using their bodies well. She now works on teaching strengthening, coordination, flexibility, and improving muscle imbalances. She is the author of 101 Dressage Exercises for Horse and Rider, which is endorsed by the US Dressage Federation and as a critical for everyone to own book. She also has written Equine Fitness, 101 Western Dressage Exercises for Horse and Rider, 55 corrective exercises for horses, and the humorous book, The Unscheduled Dismount. Jec, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well, thanks. Gosh, when you read all that, it makes it sound like it's a lot of work, and it was a lot of work.
It's a lot. Let me tell you, that's written down on paper. That might be the longest one I've had so far. That's a bunch. Congratulations. That's
Thanks.
took a lot of effort, I'm sure. Well, we start off everybody with the lightning round questions to break the ice, and I just want to warn you that these are for points and prizes, so take this real seriously. All right.
Okay, I am fiercely competitive, so let's go.
First and foremost, if you were a Jedi, what % chance would there be that you'd use the Force inappropriately?
Okay, this one's funny because I'm not even sure I know what a Jedi is, so I'm gonna just play it safe and go 50% chance. I'm gonna write them all.
Okay, let's say like a wizard, or witch. You could levitate things and crush stuff with your mind and things like that, and feel the future and other people's pain. It's just like limitless power, basically. The lightning bolts out of your fingertips, all kind of good stuff like that.
Okay, so what's the percentage that I would use that for not good outcomes, you're asking?
Well, good's a relative term. Let's just say not according to the specified rules you were taught. Would you sometimes levitate that cup of coffee across the room to get up, not have to get up on a cold winter morning to go get it? Or if you were stuck in traffic, might you just move that guy the hell out of your way with your mind? Or, how would
Yeah.
you how would you
Yeah,
go
so
awry?
probably pretty high. Yeah, I think I would probably be outside my lane all the time with those powers.
I think you're the most honest person to ever answer that question so far. Morning or evening?
Morning.
All right. Do you have a favorite way to treat aches and pains?
Kind of depends on the day. I am super hippy dippy. So on any given day, it could be arnica, it could be foam rolling, it could be a ginormous glass of wine. It just depends on the day.
What was the
Sometimes
first
it's
thing you
all
said?
arnica.
What is that?
It's a leaf extract. Usually comes
Oh,
in gel form.
okay.
Put it on topical, bruises, sore muscles. Some people, I mean, I swear by it. I swear by it. But of course, some people will say, well, there's no science to that. It doesn't work. And I said, look, even if it's just psychological and it makes me feel better, haven't I accomplished my aim?
See, that's your Jedi powers right there. You just didn't even know. Okay, so this one I have a choice on, but since you wrote a book called The Unscheduled Dismount, when's the last time you ate some dirt, Jec?
It was, I think, about 2 years ago, and the not so hysterical part was it was from this tiny pony. It was one of those ponies that's so small it's kind of hard to stay on. They're so squirrely. I mean, I want to say this little, maybe it was 12 hands, really small. And it was during the first part of COVID. So my little tiny assistant trainer, I mean, she's very petite and would have been way more suitable to ride the pony. She wasn't coming to the barn, it's just me. And I had this little tiny pony in training, and it was I think sitting on a saddle rack is actually more solid than this little pony was. And anyway, I asked it to pick up a canter one day, and it turned into a mini bronc, and there just wasn't anything under me to hang on to or grip into. I just came sailing right off.
That's fair enough. Do you have a favorite beverage?
Let's coffee. I think lots of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you tell us something totally unexpected about you?
Totally unexpected. I guess people in my real inner circle know, but I have a strange amount of stuff with Hello Kitty on it.
Okay.
And that throws some people. It throws some people. So
I did not see that coming yet.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's all right. Um, if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you choose?
Oh man, that's tough. I think like the kind of strength to like pick up a car and move it, like if you could call it up, that's sort of major adrenaline strength. You could just hit a button and make that happen. I wouldn't want to fly because I'm afraid of heights. So I think I'd go with like raw, indescribable strength.
You need to look into Jedi's. I'm telling you.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
All right. Thoughts or feelings?
Oh, that's really interesting. You separated them because my degree is in philosophy and we studied this ad nauseum on whether you can actually separate them. And to be honest, I haven't made up my mind about whether they can be parsed like that. So I'm
Well,
gonna go feelings because I'm not sure that thoughts ever fully override feelings.
okay. Well, how about this? A seesaw isn't separated, but it does lean one way more than the other.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'm leaning towards feelings.
and if you think about thoughts and feelings in terms of the brain, feelings are way more primitive than thoughts. So I think you're right about thoughts
Yeah.
not overriding feelings because feelings are way more deep down in there.
Yeah.
Are you decisive or indecisive?
I'm decisive, but I think about things a long time.
Okay.
Not forever, but I definitely am somebody who I think about it and then I take action. And when I take action, there's not a lot of waffling around.
Okay. So you're pensive. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a favorite piece of tack or horse related tool?
I was just thinking about that the other day because I just got back from Portugal. And I am a huge fan of the lunge cavessons, and I feel like they're just getting better and better and better. And for people who really like getting into groundwork, I just think they're such an incredible tool to have. So I'm pretty passionate about lunge cavessons.
I have to say I don't have one yet, but that's probably going to be one of those things I'm going to have to pick up here before long and play with. Do you have a favorite book or movie?
I'm pretty bad at watching movies because I'm not great at sitting still, but so I'm gonna go book. Anything written by Ann Patchett, I love. I love good characters and a sense of place. Anthony Doerr, another phenomenal author. It's hard to pick just one. But those authors I really like for their character development.
Okay. What about I'm looking forward to the answer to this one because I know what a disciplined person you are. But do you have a guilty pleasure?
Oh yeah, all kinds. So I live in California, so I like to partake of the wine here. I like to eat chocolate. Guilty pleasure. I don't really like loaf, like I said, I don't really loaf around and watch movies, but what else counts as it? For me, a guilty pleasure is like I got an extra hour. I'm gonna go ride my mountain bike. For some people, like I know that sounds awful, but for me, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna play hooky and go get lost in the forest.
Oh, I think that's great. Yeah. Um, do you have a favorite dinosaur or deep sea creature?
Wow, these questions are way out there. I don't think I know enough about dinosaurs. Although I did go to the museum outside Moab that has no, outside Fruita, Colorado, like this huge archaeological dinosaur museum, and I realized how few varieties I actually knew. But what's that little squatty one? Was it the squatty one with the short neck? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his
And
name.
the three horns?
Yeah,
Triceratops.
that's it. I think I like that the look of that one.
That is my favorite dinosaur as well. It looks like you could just ride him and just run shit over, doesn't it? I mean, like he'd just be a tank.
Like he's sturdy. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And have you ever had a UFO encounter?
I don't know for sure, but my parents were really big into exploring conspiracy theories and whatnot when I was growing up. So they were always pointing out things in the skies as evidence of UFOs. And I mean, as a kid, I was totally bought all into it. So, but I don't know if they were actually, I can't say that they were UFOs. I can tell you my friends thought I was a total weirdo though.
That's been one of the ones that has surprised me. I'm a little surprised, honestly. I really picked all these kind of at random just to break the ice, but you really learn unexpected things about people. Like the indecisive, decisive one. You took about as long as any decisive person takes. Most decisive people immediately answer that they're decisive. The indecisive people give me a 3-minute pause that I have to edit out before they say that they're indecisive. Uh, and I put that one in there specifically because of Maddie. Actually, she caused that question to spontaneously grow. Um, the UFO encounter, about 50% of the people say they have had one. How about that? That's way higher than I thought it would be.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So anyway, okay, well, that's for points. Jec, you competitive person, you have the highest score of any person that has ever played this game to date, 692 points. And that entitles you to your choice of either an awkward pause or a genuine compliment.
Do you tell all your guests the same point number?
No,
Is that
I do not. I don't
okay?
remember what the previous points were, so I make sure the points of the next guest are higher than the points of the previous guest. So it's a
Okay.
exponentially growing.
So I'm gonna have to come back on the show then to keep my ranking.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well, I get enough awkward pauses in my day. I'm pretty good at those. So how about what was the second option? A compliment?
Genuine compliment. Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
all right. Well, I will say that this immediately springs to mind about you because I think you're legitimately someone you can call a world recognized expert on equine mechanics and fitness and bringing a horse back into rehab, and yet you're very, very humble about it and full of imposter syndrome. Not sure whether you really belong in the category or not, and why do people keep treating you like you're an expert and asking you questions about this? And I think that's a phenomenal frame of mind to be in. So congratulations on your humility.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
All
That's an interesting way to put it. Appreciate that.
right.